check it. Hey, yo, what you saying? What you doing? Are you saying? Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. We are Spark FM Online, and we are having a time today. Quick check-in. How y'all doing?
Good morning.
We're there up on the gully.
Is my thing on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good morning. I don't.
Turn this up. There you go.
Hello. There I am. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It is Tuesday, July 14th. It is another one of our cousins' birthdays. Happy birthday, Marcus. And so it's his birthday. I guess July is full of birthdays from our family. I didn't even know that. Anyhow, everything is good with me. It's going to be a scorcher.
Oh my God, where are we going today?
I don't know. We gotta go somewhere. We gotta go somewhere. Somewhere gotta go. Yeah, I'm good. Tris, how are you? What's going on with you? No, Tris walked away.
He's here. He's not doing too much. They're just speeding like a Hubane and a Buggalane.
Yeah, speeding like that. How are
like
you, Saucy? What did you do yesterday?
Yesterday I did mostly. I like yesterday. Yesterday was a lot. I had a lot of calls. As you guys know, we are raising money aggressively for the next 10 days, trying to reach $100,000 to secure our response to an offer that was in place on the building. And just having those conversations with different funders, lenders, donators, investors, many different people about what we could possibly be doing and all the things. So we are, just kind of going through it. I'm going to drop another video today, not as calm and happy as whatever, because I do want to be transparent with all of you guys about what is going on in real time. There's probably other people out here dealing with something of the sort, so I want to be a voice of reason to help you guys understand what it all entails to get something popping. I am currently just speaking because both of my co-hosts have gone to other things. Oh, one of them came back. One of them left. So life's be lifing. It really does be.
I'm trying to get this permit for this ride.
How's it going? Let me tell you one thing. Boston do not make it easy for people to.
I don't know how many people I'm talking to. I think I'm talking maybe about 7 people.
Yes.
And I'm like, what?
Yes, you are. And that's how they do it.
I said yesterday I felt like I was like, man, I need to. Somebody else can't. I gotta find somebody else to do this with me. Somebody else got to help me.
So there's a business plan that is floating around by many different people. I think shout out to Taisha. She was just people should have the option of paying someone to do their permitting for the city of Boston. Goodness. Because if it was me, I'd be like, how much does it cost? Here you go. Because it doesn't make any sense to try to go through that by yourself. It is crazy. I've been trying to slowly work on it for Spark the Block, and I'm like, I don't even know where I am. I've done this every year, and every year I feel like it's harder and harder.
Wow, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But I didn't do nothing yesterday. I chilled. I was at my neighbors over there. We chilled. We watched bullshit. There was nothing on the TV yesterday.
I don't even know what people are watching these days. The other day I sat down to watch a little TV and I was like, I don't really know what we're watching.
Yeah. I know, like what's on right now. Well, do you watch Survival of the Thickest?
Is it back on?
Yeah, I think so.
The new episodes? I saw it yesterday. It didn't say anything like new or anything like that.
Survival of the Thickest?
It's like in its 3rd season. I think it's the 3rd and final season. It's on Netflix. It's a really good show with Michelle Buteau. She's the one who She's a comedian. She's funny.
Yeah.
She hosted The Circle. That's where I first learned about her.
Yeah.
And when is The Circle coming back? Or are they done with that? I love that show.
They are ongoing.
I love that show.
Yeah.
So that's on. I'm really excited because Sullivan Crossing's on, but you don't watch that. But Sullivan Crossing, girl, I love that. And then I just started watching the show. So I'm the Shy. So I've started rewatching that from the beginning. So I'm just in season 2 now. There's 7 seasons. This is the last and final season for that. So that's where I am.
I
with
never
show
watched
watching.
one episode of The Shy.
Really? I feel I'm with me starting over because I was like, oh, I thought I got real into it, but it looks like I don't know. I guess I never paid attention to it when I was watching it before, but it was like 4 years ago that I was watching it.
It's hard for me to get into the black shows sometimes.
Why?
It's weird. I don't know. The other one. What's the other one?
Raising Kanan is on right now too, and I'm behind. I'm probably like 4 episodes behind in that.
There's a comedy one with the keep that's based in LA or something like that. I don't know. I don't know.
Comedy one? I don't know.
Comedy one based in LA. I don't know.
I don't know.
That could be.
Yeah, but the Cat Williams was on the guest. That's what he got his Emmy on. What show was that?
Oh, I don't know.
What Cat Williams get his Emmy for?
I don't know.
Yeah, somebody knows.
I don't know.
I don't know, but then like there's like a. Oh, did you watch Divorced Sisters?
No, what is that?
It's a Tyler Perry, and it's horrible acting, but it's so good.
Oh, I think you was talking about that
Atlanta.
for a while. Oh, Atlanta.
That's
what I was thinking
old.
of, Yeah.
But was it good? I never watched it.
Oh yeah, Atlanta was really good. That was who was it? Cat Williams was on that.
Yeah, he was.
That's Childish Gambino show.
Yeah, Childish Gambino. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what he got his Emmy for.
Oh.
He's a guest star. He's a guest
Oh
actor.
really? Oh yeah, that's a really good show. I think you would like that.
Maybe I'll check that out.
But yeah, you should. It's done though. It's like old, like done. Did you ever watch Snowfall?
No.
I tried to watch Snow. That's
Told
what
you I don't watch the black
Frankie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started to watch that, but then I wasn't hooked enough to it, even though I heard it was really great.
Me too. I started Snowfall over about 4 times, and I was like, you know what? Forget it. But everybody's like, you got to watch that. Anyhow, I don't know. Whatever good TV you guys suggest, let me know because I like a TV. Oh yeah, and Raising Kanan. I said I'm behind. Raising Kanan is back for its final season. Thank you, Carl. And hey, Mike Nice. Good morning. Hey, Jonathan. Morning. Good to see you on the check-in as usual. And who else do we have in here? Janet. Hey, Janet. All of
right.
you guys are here. Hello. We will start the show.
Yes, sir. Spark
go.
FM Online. Let's get it going.
You're listening to Saucy Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Hey, Spark FM, the morning crew. Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony be known. Rockstone Triz, we ready for go. Wake up, Boston, feel the energy rise. Saucy and Friends, a brand new vibe. We run New England from 9 to 11. On SparkFM.com, feeling like heaven. Lock in the wave, the link is secure. Urban and Caribbean music, that's pure.
Saucy and Friends in the morning.
Yay!
SparkFM.com.
Buck.
Well, that was different.
You like that one?
I like that.
Buck.
It makes me feel. It makes me feel like this. Like this. I want to dance like this.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I want to know all the words.
Rochelle, what do you think? Because Rochelle is our.
I'm still obsessed with the first one,
Me
but I
too.
like this one. It gives me a different energy. New, hold up. New intro song.
Because she was ready for the other one. She said intro song.
It's real. Like I don't know what to do right now. We might have to have I don't know. We might have to interchange them because that is
Yeah.
Play
good.
that one in the club.
Yeah.
Play that one in the club right there.
I felt like doing a smite on the wall. Yeah. Wow.
That is funny. That is funny. I like it. I like things like that. Little things like that literally make my day.
It's the little thing.
Yeah, it is. With that said, today is July 14th. It is July 14th. It is currently 82 degrees outside. Today is going to be hot. There is a heat advisory. These conditions are expected by 11 a.m. Tuesday, July 14th. So that is here. We're going to have a high of 94 American degrees in Fahrenheit.
94.
Tonight it's going to drop down to 70, which is going to feel like a little bit normal weather. Yesterday was kind of cool.
It was cool.
It was very windy. It was very windy. It is approximately 9:48 in the morning, and we are here. Today we'll be sitting down and talking to Senator Nick Collins about everything that he has going in. We promise that we'll have him check back in because we like to talk to all of the politicians in our great state and city so that you guys know what the hell going on here.
Right.
What the hell?
What the hell?
What the hell? And with that said, let's get into the show.
Let's go. All right. This looks crazy. Boston heat wave to bring temperatures near 100 degrees as humidity soars this week.
Oh, hold on.
Soars.
Hold on.
Soars.
What's the word? Tell me now. It's time for Around the Way News with Miss Tony B.
Hey!
Tony B. The Spark FM.
There we go.
That's me. Hey, now.
Tony be knowing.
Can we have that be my theme song as I walk down the street? Like, let it just play as I walk everywhere. Miss Tony be knowing.
This is what Tristan do when he be bored. He just sitting there making us.
Tris be doing it. That is awesome. Thank
He was like,
you
no,
for that.
wait.
Wait a minute. Wait. So let's get into that. I am Miss Tony B. Knowin. After a pleasant weekend featuring comfortable temperatures and low humidity, much of Massachusetts is preparing for another significant heat wave, or heat stroke, as I call it, as forecasters warn that dangerous heat and rising humidity will grip the nation throughout the week. Meteorologists say temperatures will climb steadily beginning on Monday, before peaking on Tuesday and Wednesday, when many communities are expected to experience highs in the mid to upper 90s. Combined with increasing humidity, heat index values could reach between 95 and 105 degrees.
How many did what?
95 to 105. Like, my throat became parched at the thought of that.
Because it's not even fun. Like,
No.
I gotta go inside.
It's so miserable,
Yeah.
creating conditions that elevate the risk of heated-related illnesses across the region. That pool is going to be lit. It's going to be so full. I just saw just now when I was driving down here, I saw these guys were on the corner and they were loading their grills and their coolers and stuff. They had on little swim shorts and tank tops.
Y'all
And I was
need
like,
a DJ?
I want to go with them.
Where are they going?
Un DJ?
I don't know.
Yes.
Un DJ?
I don't know what we need. We don't even know we invited.
I know. We got to hit up people. Residents across the Boston area are enjoyed a refreshing break from summer heat over the weekend, with high temperatures remaining in the upper 70s along the coast and reaching the 80s across inlands. This weekend was beautiful weather. It was so just pleasant. So you guys, please stay cool. There are cooling centers that are open. There is a heat warning that is out there. Drink lots of water. Get your waters. Get your Gatorades. Get all the things that you need to drink, and stay cool as you can. It's crazy. New England faces first ever EF2 plus tornado hatching from
that
Storm
mean?
Prediction Center, with hurricane force winds and 2-inch hail today.
How about that?
Tuesday. Yeah.
How about that?
I don't know.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. Because the story is not here. It's not here. But yeah, tornado warnings because of the heat and the humidity. Y'all be careful out here.
We are getting tornado warnings?
New England.
Wow.
Yeah. And they did,
ever.
and I included it because they did mention Boston. I think that it's only a 2% chance in Boston in the article when I read it this morning, but it is. It's a thing. It's a thing that could be happening today. Suffolk Town.
EF2 means enhanced Fujita tornado, classifying winds up to 111 miles to 135 miles per hour.
What does that mean? That's that's tornado like, because that'll slap you right out of your car or something.
I'm
like
gonna say in my house. What time is that supposed to be in?
I don't know. We only have a 2% chance of getting that here in Boston. No bail for the Uber driver charged with stabbing his passenger at Logan Airport.
Why did he do that?
Would you drive to Logan Airport to pick up this person and stab them for, Mr. Bacon? An Uber driver accused of stabbing his passenger several times while dropping him off at Logan Airport in Boston last week has been ordered held without bail. The driver, 23-year-old Leonard Bacon of Lowell, pleaded not guilty to assault and battery with a dangerous weapon causing serious bodily injury at his arraignment Monday in East Boston District Court.
Let's see this bastard.
He's terrible.
Health evaluation. 23-year-old Leonard Bacon pleaded not guilty to that attack that last week will remain behind bars pending a mental health evaluation. 23-year-old Leonard Bacon pleaded not guilty to that attack that seriously injured a passenger. Prosecutors say Bacon picked up the passenger early Friday morning, and when they got to the airport, the passenger asked if they were at the correct terminal, and that's when he reached into the back seat and stabbed the victim multiple times. Prosecutors say surveillance video shows what happened.
Camera shows movement inside the vehicle and then shows the rear driver's side door of the vehicle open, and it shows the victim falling out of the rear door, and the suspect can be seen inside the vehicle leaning into the back seat area, swinging his arm wildly at the victim with what appears to be a knife in his hand.
What the hell?
What? Investigators say they used that surveillance video to identify the car and then track the suspect to a home in Lowell where he was arrested. The victim is expected to survive.
Expected?
Expect you just retch around in the backhand and start stabbing people?
Just because somebody asks you a question.
You know,
pissed in your cereal.
When he's sitting there chewing gum on nonchalant, like, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? I didn't even do nothing.
That's literally one of them.
Shaking his head like somebody lying on him.
Yeah, like, that's not what I
pled
did.
not guilty. That didn't happen. I didn't do that. That's not me swinging my arm wildly, stabbing that person.
So,
goddamn questions.
let me ask y'all a question. So,
Let me say
you
something.
sue Uber, right?
It's Uber.
You can sue them now.
Oh
yeah.
You said you didn't vet him properly or something like
Yeah,
that?
they got to start vetting these Uber drivers
Yeah,
better.
like you have to pass a psychological exam.
But it doesn't even matter because we got people like the Campbell brother that was out here, pretending to be a Uber to drunk ladies and stealing them. Like you can't even win. You can't even get home safe in the night no more. God damn it.
Child, you got to drive your own car, and this is why.
Oh, no center running bus lanes. We got to drive our own car for safety.
And that should be our argument. It ain't safe.
It ain't
I still
safe.
don't trust Uber. Medallion taxis have the partition between the passengers and the driver.
See, I agree. And then y'all sat there and made these taxi drivers buy these expensive medallions in order to have their fleet of taxis, all to abandon them to go to these Ubers to get killed.
Can I say I use Astar?
Who the hell is that, Tristan?
That's the
hood Uber?
That's the Dominicano gypsy
Oh,
cat.
really?
Oh.
You have to call, they have an app, or you just gotta
They
call
send
them?
you texts and say, they said that they don't tell you where it's at, but they tell you when they outside.
They're stealth. They're like a ninja.
And they take cash.
They just show up. I don't know. I don't trust no medallion taxi driver either because I was kidnapped by a taxi driver for 5 minutes one time, and I don't trust that. So whatever. He wouldn't let me out the cab. He wanted my phone number, and I was like, no. And he drove off. We were at my destination. He drove off and drove me around the corner, stopped the car, turned around to have a conversation with me. And I was like, sir.
You should have tased him right in his eyeball.
I didn't have a taser.
Oh, you got to have a taser.
I was like, you better let me out of this car right now. So I got off. It was like around the corner. This is when I was working at the Strash. Remember, I had to take cabs to go do errands all the time. And I was like, I got out right at the corner and walked back. Like, you are crazy. So
he said his grandma takes
Astar.
Yeah, see, that's the ones that be
school,
outside the groceries on bus. Taxi. Yes, goddamn.
We need. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. We need them black cars, like how we used to be riding in style in New York. We jump in we like call a black car. We'll come out of the limousine at the club. A Boston man has been charged after allegedly assaulting a Burger King employee and punching the customer. This is your Burger King, Danielle?
Uh-huh.
The customer who was evaluated for visible lacerations to the forehead was punched 3 times while being called racial slurs, prosecutors say. I don't know. A Boston man is facing charges after he allegedly lunged at a Burger King employee, punched a customer, and then resisted arrest.
Not the country. The customer got a stray punch.
And resisted arrest at a nearby MBTA station in East Boston, authorities announced on Monday afternoon. Patrick Donovan, 59, was charged July 1st with one count of assault and battery causing injury on an over 60 or disabled person. Damn. Assault and battery, disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, assault, and vandalism, Suffolk County District Attorney Kevin Hayden's office said in a press release. The charges stem from an incident shortly before 10 p.m. on June 30th when Boston police responded to a disturbance call from Burger King at 1 Maverick Square. A Burger King employee told officers that after ordering his food and receiving it, Donovan yelled that he no longer wanted it and smacked the napkin holder off the counter. He then allegedly lunged at the employee and grabbed her by the arm, prosecutor said. Donovan subsequently shoved the customer from behind and allegedly punched him in the face 3 times while calling him racial slurs. Emergency medical services evaluated the customer for visual lacerations to his forehead, but the victim declined additional treatment, authorities said. Donovan fled the restaurant following the assaults, and officers tracked him to the nearby MBTA Maverick station. While officers tried to detain Donovan inside the station, he swung at them with a closed fist but did not make contact. Donovan was placed in custody after a brief struggle. He was also saying racial slurs towards the officers.
Donovan was drunk.
Donovan was lit. During his arraignment in the East Boston Division of the Boston Municipal Court, Donovan pled not guilty and was released on personal recognizance. What? You done beat up
Why would they
police officers, the employee, and a random customer, and they let you go on your personal recognizance?
No, he's the dangerousness hearing.
Oh my gosh. Court orders show he was also ordered to stay away from Maverick Square and Burger King. He's scheduled to return on August 7th. Officers obtained security footage of both assaults. Authorities say the incident remains under investigation and could result in further charges. Our workers deserve to be safe in their workplace, and our consumers deserve to be safe in their shopping or dining spaces without exception, Hayden said. Beyond that, none of our citizens or first responders should be subjected to racial slurs. These appalling words have no place in Suffolk County or anywhere else in our society.
Red flag. Red flag. Hold that.
That sounds crazy. A Boston man dies after a skydiving accident in Orange. See, this is why I'm not going to skydive. What did Tristan say? He not doing nothing. He not jump rope. Nothing.
That's what
Somebody asked you something yesterday.
There is an what was this?
This one's skydiving.
Oh, well, speaking of skydiving, this is completely unrelated, but somebody said rope. I posted a video the other day of this black woman in the woods saying, no matter what, I own all these acres of land. As a black woman, you will never find me on one of these trees hung. There is an influx of black people being hung across the country, and nobody's talking about it. And that reminded me of that, because I believe that black people come with the mental capacity to understand, I don't want to hang out. I don't want to hang with the rope. I don't carry rope. I don't randomly have rope with me. That's not the way that I would choose to kill myself. So I do want to just kind of put that disclaimer in there for you guys that are listening to pay attention to what the news is not saying to you, but be vigilant and be careful and keep raising awareness about the fact that a lot of black people have been hung in the last year.
And that little black girl in Tanzania that went out there with that man. She found hung. We don't play hung.
We don't play those
We
games.
don't even play hangman no more. We don't play that.
We don't do any of that.
So this 28-year-old man has died after a skydiving accident at a facility in Orange, the Northwestern District Attorney's Office said. The incident occurred Sunday around 4 p.m. when first responders were dispatched to Jumptown skydiving in response to reports of a serious accident. Once their crews found the man, an initial investigation indicates that the man had fallen around 30 feet after a sudden and unexpected gust of wind interfered with his parachute. The man was then transported to Athol Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. His cause of death is being reviewed by the Office of the Medical Examiner.
Here goes the clip.
Accident in Orange. He was jumping with Jumptown skydiving when he fell to the ground from about 30 feet up late yesterday afternoon. Investigators say a sudden gust of wind interfered with his parachute. The victim died at the hospital. His name has not been released. And tonight the incident remains under investigation.
I saw a show one time where a guy died during a skydiving accident, and then when they did the investigation, he was actually already dead when they pushed him out the plane.
That was a real thing?
No. Oh. It was a 911 or one of them shows like that, but it was crazy. So they need to investigate what happened with that guy. That sounds funny to me. Lindsay Clancy's husband is to testify in her defense as the mother accused of killing their 3 children stands trial. Can you pull up this clip?
She's gonna stand. She's gonna testify.
Well, she's not gonna stand because she's paralyzed.
Oh shit. Sorry.
Yeah, she would be questioned.
Patrick Clancy, one of 200 people who they have as witnesses to be called to testify in his wife's murder trial when it begins on July 20th. Go ahead.
Here goes the clip.
1 week to go. We are getting more details about what will happen in this trial. It's expected to be a long one, lasting an approximate 6 to 8 weeks. Lindsay Clancy was in the courtroom in person this afternoon for the last hearing, the final hearing before jury selection begins on Monday. We learned today the judge is planning to have 18 jurors impaneled. That's 2 more than typical for trials due to the time commitment of this trial. Now, Clancy is facing 3 counts of murder for killing her 3 young children in January of 2023. Her defense planning to argue a lack of criminal responsibility, pointing to Clancy's experience with postpartum depression and what her attorney describes as being over-medicated. Today, he asked the judge if he could call other women not related to the case who have had similar experiences with postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis. But the judge denied that motion. Now, the defense had previously raised the idea that Lindsay Clancy would not be in the courtroom on certain days when the evidence was somewhat sensitive, like the showing of autopsy photos and the like. But today, her attorney says that Clancy is determined to be in court for each day of this trial. Again, jury selection begins on Monday. Live at the Plymouth Courthouse, Sarah Conji, WCVB.
I just wonder what they would like to do with her.
Yeah.
Just put her in jail and forget about her, because that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Like, the husband is gonna move on because unfortunately they don't have any children to tie them together.
The husband's on her side.
Yeah, I know he is.
Yeah.
But when she goes
not on her side, but like
he's whatever.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But after a while, if she goes to jail, she's gonna go to jail for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
He's not gonna stick around for that.
No,
not saying that he doesn't want to. It really just is not. There's nothing to tie him there.
Yeah.
It's a strained, tragic relationship. She's gonna be put away for the rest of her life. I don't know if it makes a difference whether she's in jail or out of jail. Yeah. I think she's screwed for the rest of her entire life.
And I think she's going to continue to try to kill herself.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's what's going to happen. Her life, she's living hell right now. Yeah. I don't think that her life is very good at all. It's awful. 6 to 8 weeks, over 200 people that they plan to call to testify in this. And I don't know why the judge, what do you think about the judge not letting them bring in other women that have had similar experiences with postpartum psychosis? I think that they should. I think that you need to hear that from other people. Like, you can't, I don't know. I don't know what happens. I don't know what to say about that. It's awful. That trial begins on the 20th. Mass judge allows a Republican accused of signature fraud to return to the ballot and blocks another. So this is what we talked about last week. Those 2 candidates.
You said he blocked signature fraud?
He blocked one of them, but remember, they both got disqualified. But he's allowing one of them to continue, and the other one is going to be blocked. So in a split decision on Friday, a Massachusetts judge ruled that a Republican candidate accused of signature fraud can return to the primary ballot while blocking another. Republican Attorney General hopeful Mike Walsh can appear on September's primary ballot under the ruling from Essex County Superior Court Associate Justice Jeffrey Karp, which overrules a state ballot law commission decision late last month. However, Karp ruled that Ann Manning Martin, a Republican candidate for lieutenant governor, who was also accused of signature fraud, cannot be on the ballot. Both Walsh and Manning Martin have said they hired the same local operative, Joe Bronski, to gather the signatures required to get their names on the primary ballot. During hearings last month, both campaigns blamed Bronski for allegedly copying names from a Republican voter database and forging the signatures. Bronski was deposed and invoked his Fifth Amendment rights. The reasoning for the differing decisions Friday came down to the nature of the challenges to Walsh and Manning Martin's respective nomination papers. In the ruling, CARP said that despite substantial evidence in the record of voter fraud, the commission lacked jurisdiction to consider the complaint from Massachusetts Democratic Party Executive Director Adam Roof, alleging that Walsh was submitted fraudulent nomination signatures and did not have the required 10,000 certified signatures. I don't know. Anyways, one of them, they letting the man go and the girl can't, so that's what it is. And that sounds like discrimination to me. Anyways.
So the other lady was from here.
They're both from here. They're both
from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's we that. We gotta guess. We gotta go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then sorry. Then I erased magic stuff. I thought he was here.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
30 Massachusetts beaches are closed due to bacteria ahead of the impending heat wave. So there are still a lot of beaches that are closed. I know people are going to be seeking water to cool down, but there are 30 Massachusetts beaches that are closed, and you guys need to. In Boston, it's just Tenian Beach, Braintree, Smith Beach. I didn't even know that there was a beach in Braintree.
These are all that's open, or
these
not?
are the ones that are closed.
Oh.
Dartmouth, Falmouth, Freetown, Holden, Lynn, Swansea. That's too bad because those beaches down there. Templeton, Tilbury, Townsend, Wareham, Winthrop, and Worcester. There's lots and lots of beaches that are closed. So before you head out to the beach.
Worcester have a beach?
Which one?
Worcester?
That's what it say. Worcester. Yeah. Lake Quinsigamond.
Worcester.
Lake Quinsigamond. Quinsigamond Lake Park Beach. It has a bacterial exceedance.
But don't go Lake Cinnamon.
Don't go there. But check to see if the beaches that you plan to go to may be closed, because there are many of them that are closed. Boston's Little Saigon Night Market returns to Fields Corner on July 18th with food and performers, and that's so cute. They set that up nice. It's a night market. They put the little lanterns out there, and it usually is very cute. I didn't go last year, but I will go this year. So that is Boston Little Saigon Night Market is returning to Fields Corner on Saturday, July 18th from 4 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. The event will transform Dorchester Ave and Town Field into an open-air festival with entertainment, food, and games as part of a larger Dorchester summer gathering. This year's lineup features traditional dances, lion dancers, K-pop, breakdancing, hip-hop, and a chicken wing eating contest.
Yes,
sponsored by Pho Hua, who got some good chicken wings. Popular foods will return, such as meat skewers, banh mi, egg rolls, boba, sugarcane drinks, and corn on the cob. According to an article in the Dorchester Reporter, last year's night market attracted an estimated 16,000 attendees, showcasing Vietnamese American culture through performances, street food, and community participation. Very, very nice. I would like to go there, and I will go.
Yeah, that's my favorite place over there. Sweet Sip.
Oh, so
rolled ice cream.
The rolled ice cream.
Oh yeah, you do love a rolled ice cream.
Yeah. So Cocoa Leaf, Tai Oishi, and Ballet are participating businesses. The sponsors include Eastern Bank, Novo Marketplace, the Vietnamese American Community of Massachusetts, Vu and Rosen's, Pho Hua, who's one of my favorite places. And Harbor Health, the City of Boston, and the Dorchester Reporter. Very nice. So get out there and check that out if you have a chance. Admission is free, and it will be Saturday. And that's that. That is the Around the Way news with me, Miss Tony B. Noen. We're going to take a quick pause of the cause, and we're going to come back and get into some of the national news. This is Saucy and Friends in the Morning, Spark FM, and we'll be right back.
Such an idiot.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the Morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Turn it up.
This is SparkFMOnline.com. All hits, all day, and it's all yours.
Keep it locked to Boston's #1 for hip-hop, R&B, dancehall, and soca. SparkFMOnline.com, home of your favorite morning show, Saucy and Friends in the Morning. Tune in weekday mornings, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Boston's new home for urban and Caribbean music. Spark FM.
I love them a lot.
Praise the Lord, City of Boston. This is Brother Chris right here on Spark FM.
Come on, sing it.
Bringing you Sunday morning worship each and every Sunday morning, 6 to 10 a.m. Let's get our praise on.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom.
She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
JP Morgan Chase is making a global commitment to break down barriers to drive inclusive economic growth all over the world. We believe there is a pressing need to help more people move up the economic ladder. That is why we are investing in communities and people to create an economy that works for all, because no community should be left behind. Right here in Boston, we're focusing that work in Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan, among other neighborhoods, on improving financial health. These efforts aim to address the key drivers of the racial wealth divide head-on. We're here to empower individuals, families, and small businesses by connecting them to the tools that build generational wealth and a long-lasting legacy. Chase is investing in Boston. Chase is investing in you. Visit us at the Mattapan branch at 1617 Blue Hill Avenue, where the team is waiting to help.
Often I hear people talking about how high their electricity bills are. Massachusetts has programs that everyday homeowners pay for, but never look into. Have you ever considered why some homes have panels and others don't? If you have Eversource, National Grid, or Unitil for electricity, you are paying for your neighbors to get panels at no cost. The charges are on the bill. Why not get someone to pay for yours? This program also helps with re-roofing, tree cutting, and electrical upgrades. If you're tired of short-term solutions for a long-term problem, connect with Bakari to find out if your home meets the requirements to upgrade at no cost out of pocket. Save the planet, future-proof your family for power outages, and save tens of thousands of dollars on an otherwise lifelong bill. Mention Spark when you call or text SPARK to 617-833-8940 to get 2 months off your power bill covered if your home gets selected.
Prioritize your mental well-being with Kuji Jakalia Wellness Center, a Black woman-owned therapy practice committed to culturally affirming care that understands you. Our licensed therapists specialize in personalized care, offering virtual sessions Monday through Friday by appointment, because your healing should fit your schedule.
At Kuji Wellness, we embrace the principle of Kuji Jakalia, meaning self-determination, the power to define, create, and speak for ourselves. Your healing journey is yours to own, and we're here to support you every step of the way. We also offer individual, child, couple, and family therapy, helping families connect, heal, and thrive together.
Visit us at kujiwellness.com and book your appointment, because when you heal, the community heals too.
Spark FM.
Perhaps I was addicted to the dark side. Somewhere inside my childhood when this my heart died. And even though we both came,
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
I mean, I stop love how they can them flex. The hand close and make a next can flex. Me no stop love how they...
Join us on Facebook and Instagram at sparkfmonline.com. Turn us up.
Oh my darling, oh my darling.
Spark FM.
Hello and welcome back to Spark FM Online, number one for urban and Caribbean music. We are here now in the building, hanging out, having a good time. In the meantime, in between time, let's get into our national news while we wait for our guest to arrive. South Carolina governor picks Lindsey Graham.
Spark FM. Yeah, it's that time. Keeping you informed on what's happening across the country. It's time for national news with Miss Hot Sauce. Miss Hot Sauce. Miss Hot Sauce.
Hey.
Informing the nation, yeah.
That sounds like you in the background.
Informing the nation, yeah.
Why was this one having a sing-off with Allison Hines on Saturday, okay?
Right. roll it, gal, roll it, gal, roll. Boy, she don't know that I am right there.
Hey.
As soon as she need a successor, I am there.
Lord have.
That was good. I like that too. Miss Hot Sauce.
Informing the nation.
Informing the nation. Trista. So, North Carolina governor picks Lindsey Graham's sister to finish his Senate term.
Yeah. This apparently is his sister that he adopted when both their parents died, I think. And so he adopted the sister so that she could get his military benefits. And so he's, that was one of the good things that people had to say about him.
Sound like a dreamer to me.
No.
Sound like an illegal alien.
Oh my gosh. So yes, they have picked his
Sounds
sister.
like DEI and unmerit-based
nepotism. Yeah.
And conflict of interest.
Yeah.
All of it. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster announced on Monday that he is appointing Senator Lindsey Graham's sister, Darlene Graham Nordone, to take his U.S. Senate seat for the rest of his term. I think this is what Lindsey would have wanted, and I plan to honor him in this way, Nordone said at an event announcing her appointment. Lindsey has always been there for me, and now I will be there for him. How, girl?
So that's how that goes, huh?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was his. I don't think his constituents gave a goddamn about what he wanted. I thought he's supposed to work for them and what they would have wanted. They wanted her sister to be there.
I don't know, but can you just do that? You can just be
I've been reading up a lot about this. Apparently, in their constitution, the governor is not able. No, in their constitution, the governor would be able to appoint someone in if it's advance of a special election.
Mm-hmm.
However, some Republican senators have put a legislative bill on there or a law on there that's saying that he can't appoint someone. Let's go to the video because I was confused because I didn't know if it was a good thing or a bad thing what he was doing and who was doing the good thing. Was it the Republicans that put the law on, or was it the Constitution that they got to follow of their state that says that he can appoint?
But what I want to know is you can just be like, your sister can do it.
That no experience, nothing.
Right.
Like, yeah, my sister's gonna do it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's right.
Months ago, South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster appointed Lindsey Graham's sister, Darlene, to serve out the remainder of his Senate term. They remembered the 71-year-old senator today in a press conference.
God damn it.
You ready?
Play your game, baby.
I don't want to play no game. What's going on here?
McMaster said that he had talked to Nordone, the sister, on Sunday morning about the appointment, and she agreed to fill out Graham's terms. Lindsey took care of his little sister in years long departed. It's my honor to ask his little sister, Darlene Graham, to finish his work for him now. President Donald Trump earlier Monday said he wanted Nordone to be Graham's temporary replacement in the Senate. Trump wrote in a social media post that he made his recommendation to McMaster and said it would be a fabulous tribute to Graham. Nordone has served since 2019 as commissioner of the South Carolina Commission for the Blind, where she has worked to expand opportunities for South Carolinians who are blind or have low vision to achieve employment and independence, according to a biography. Yes, go ahead.
Graham Nordone will serve out the remainder of her brother's term. Graham, a four-term Republican senator, died suddenly on Saturday at the age of 71 from an aortic dissection. That's a tear in the body's main artery. Lindsey Graham and his sister Darlene were exceptionally close. Their parents passed away within a 15-month stretch when they were young. Lindsey Graham, who was 22 at the time, stepped in to care for Darlene, who was 13. This afternoon, Darlene Graham Nordone, still grieving, accepted the honor of stepping into her big brother's shoes and was visibly touched.
Lindsey has always been there for me, and now I will be there for him. My brother was the most amazing person, outstanding leader, and just a genuinely good man. He was kind and considerate and loved by his family dearly.
Meantime, in Washington, the Senate returned to session today with a heavy heart. Graham's desk on the Senate floor was covered with a black shroud and a bowl of white roses. A special Republican primary will be held in August to replace Graham on the general election ballot.
I think it's so weird how he died like that.
Wickedness would tear your heart.
Left at that all day yesterday.
Huh?
I left at that all day yesterday.
What?
He died from wickedness.
He died from wickedness. That's how Mitch McConnell died.
Yes. Did you see? Everybody knows that that's AI. Did you see all the AI things
Everybody
yesterday?
knows. And you know what pisses me off and why we're not angry enough as a country? Because we will allow these GOP clowns to sit there and be like, hey, y'all wanted a proof of life? Here's the proof of life. A random picture and a random quote.
And you see how they have the newspaper from the day there to prove the day?
Yeah. And they're also saying that newspaper article is not from this year or what. I don't know what is going on, but I think it's crazy. But if you're that much in good health that you can sit down for a picture, you can sit down and have a conversation with the news and news reporters to say, hey, I'm doing better. If I can't talk, if I can't see, and if I can't breathe, because my brain is dead, then I shouldn't have office to go back to when, even now, the fact that he's 87,000 years old and he's going through all of these medical conditions, I don't believe for 1 second that Mitch McConnell should be making any decisions on behalf of any country of anybody. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
I'm going with Janet's theory about the Asian body. But did you see the meme with the Asian man that was holding the puppet strings of Mitch McConnell?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. It's like Janet, how Janet know? But yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, just tell us that he's dead. They don't want to say that because then that's 2 GOP seats that are missing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyhow. All the times he was glitching in mid-sentence. This is an AI body double from China. Can't nobody tell me different.
Janet, I believe you if there is a body.
Yeah.
I don't think there is a body, period. They didn't bring it back from China yet because they would have at least took a picture of that body. This one here is Mitch McConnell from when he was alive. He's no longer alive.
Yeah.
And I'm also interested in knowing when they do say he's dead, how are you guys going to play that one out?
Right.
Everybody's going to say, duh. Like, what are we doing? Judge blocks Trump's settlement with IRS and gave him sweeping tax protections. That's not what I heard from the white boy who told me. Yes, go to this. Just to know what's going on.
It was a massive rebuke from a judge in Florida, slamming President Trump's lawsuit against the IRS as a sham in a backdoor attempt to legitimize the president's $1.776 billion anti-weaponization fund and his immunity from future IRS investigations. MS Now's Fallon Gallagher joins us here on set. James, Peter, Michael are still with us. All right, walk us through this ruling, Fallon.
Yeah, so I want to take a step back first and explain what this case is and why it matters. Yes. You'll remember earlier in January, Trump sued the IRS for $10 billion, saying that his tax returns were improperly leaked. This suit raised questions from the beginning because this was Trump basically suing himself as both sides of the federal government. Exactly. He's a party to both sides. The Trump then moved to voluntarily dismiss this suit in May, saying that, not even actually revealing initially that he had reached a settlement, but moved to dismiss it. The judge granted his voluntary dismissal. That's this judge here, Judge Kathleen Williams. Shortly after that dismissal, we learned that there was a settlement agreement. That settlement agreement, of course, gave Trump, his family, immunity from any ongoing IRS inquiries, and it also created the anti-weaponization fund, that $1.776 billion so-called slush fund. After that happened, a group of 35 former federal judges filed a motion with this court, with Judge Kathleen Williams, asking her to revisit it, saying that there seems to have been a sham here. There might have been some collusion. What was the sham? It's exactly that Trump basically sued himself. So he is both parties of this. And in this ruling today, she's saying that there was never any adverseness here. There was no real lawsuit here. And basically what Judge Williams is saying here today is that this was a complete sham so that Trump could get this outcome with some sort of judicial legitimacy. And I want to read briefly from this because this line just really captures the whole thing. It says, this action was never about a party seeking judicial resolution of a legal issue or a factual dispute. The nature of the suit itself and the conduct of the parties and counsel from its filing make plain that this was an attempt to use the court to provide some legitimacy to an agreement to confer immunity to people and entities affiliated with the president and to earmark billions of dollars from American taxpayers to redress grievances not defined in the law. So really what she's saying, she is ripping them apart, saying that there was never any legitimacy. You conned the court, basically using the court as a vehicle for legitimacy here to reach these ends, and that this should have never been filed in the first place.
Absolutely. Yeah. They said that she even reported his lawyer to the bar. Yes. And said that he should be taken a look at because why the hell? I'm no lawyer, but for me, the government suing the government for money that only helps themselves seems like scam of them there.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
it
good.
reminds me of something else, like people putting an offer on their own building in order to get because that's what I think to be very honest. But yeah, it shouldn't be. Let me just say what I gotta say. U.S. to break over Strait of Hormuz, charge 20% fee for cargo ship through. Trump says. I all the time I want to make a disclaimer to you American people out there. This was never the problem. This was the Strait of Hormuz, and our oil was never ever the problem. Now it's all I hear. Is they at war or is they just at the Strait of Hormuz? Is there anything happening other than the Strait of Hormuz?
It's the Strait of Hormuz, and then the U.S. keeps throwing bombs, ain't it?
President Donald Trump on Monday said the U.S. will take over the Strait of Hormuz. I thought they already took it over with the Navy. I thought the Navy was controlling the Strait of Hormuz.
I don't know what the Hormuz is.
And will be reimbursed at the rate of 20% on all cargo shipped for overseeing one of the world's most critical passageways that has been at the center of the U.S. re-escalating war and Iran. We will become guardians of the Strait, Trump said during an interview with Fox and Friends on Monday morning. We're going to hit Iran very hard and keep the Strait and probably run it.
What?
His comments arrive at the heels of fresh strikes in the Gulf where Iran and the U.S. exchanged heavy fire over the weekend. Trump followed his Fox News interview with a Truth Social post that said the U.S. will reimpose a blockade of Iran. All other countries will have fair and open use of the strait, he said, but added that as a matter of fairness, the U.S. will be reimbursed at the rate of 20% on all cargo shipped for any and all costs necessary to do the job of providing safety and security to this very volatile section. You're saying that it's open to everybody, but you're going to charge them 20% on all their cargo to give them safe passage through. Iran doesn't have a problem with them. He has a problem with America. Everybody's free to pass through how they want. It's just y'all Americans that Jay don't want going through it. I wonder why he's trying to make it about everybody else except for him.
Yesterday on the news, they were like, it's a toll. There's a toll that they're gonna have to pay. And we were like, where they gonna pay it at? What they gonna do? Take their license plate?
Send them the fee?
What are you gonna do?
Like if I don't pay the toll, you gonna drop a bomb on me real quick?
Probably, huh?
That's crazy.
Crazy.
That's the bombs they're dropping over Baghdad.
Bombs over Baghdad.
I would hate to be dropping bombs and not hitting anything because that's how much money is costing that. There's a big tower right there. Y'all couldn't hit the tower.
Child, I'm so tired.
I'm not trying to say that they should hit the tower. They shouldn't be throwing bombs at all. But if you're going to throw a bomb, at least hit the target, you know? But whatever. What do I know about war?
Yeah, but you know.
2 teens arrested after 5 family members are killed in Illinois shooting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. It's crazy. And Chicago's having one of their best years for violence.
Oh,
not like down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good. Oh, because Chicago used to be shooting up like 100 people every weekend.
What is it, Chicago Graham?
Chirac. Chicago Graham.
2 teenagers have been taken into custody following a shooting spree targeting a family in southern Illinois that left 5 people dead and 2 others wounded. The 15 and 16-year-old suspects, I just want to repeat that. The 15 and 16.
Wow.
15 and 16 years old suspects were arrested on July 12th at Frank Holton State Park, a recreation area near city of East St. Louis. During a brief news conference, Illinois State Police Director Brandon Kelly said the shootings unfolded at 3 locations within few miles of one another and targeted members of the same family.
Damn.
At least 7 members of the targeted family were shot at multiple locations in the East St. Louis area, and as of right now, 5 victims have been confirmed deceased. At least one of the suspects is related to the victims, according to Kelly.
What?
They didn't provide further details.
Sounds like a
Kelly
snitch.
noted the state police are working with the St. Clair County State's Attorney's Office and will seek charges against the suspects. Somebody's family member? Go to the clip. Because
15 and 16?
Look, they're all youth, too. Well,
No, except for the old lady.
The old lady.
Flights taken, and the family left to plan 5 funerals. Tonight, we are hearing from the loved ones of an East St. Louis family torn apart by a horrific act of violence. Loved ones say the killer is one of their own. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. The killing spree spanned across 3 different crime scenes in East St. Louis.
What?
Our Melanie Johnson is live in East St. Louis.
Yeah, Mike and Kelly, I spent the day speaking to this heartbroken family, just shattered and trying to comprehend how one of their own could kill the people that they love. A teen couple has been arrested in connection to these murders tonight. And I spoke to the 15-year-old suspect's father, who says his daughter's decision has crushed his family after she killed her own grandmother and his own mother.
What?
I can't show her no sympathy.
What
are we watching? Marcus May tells me his teen daughter made a decision that is just heartbreaking. The 15-year-old and her 16-year-old boyfriend accused of shooting 7 of their family members, killing 5 of them. The victims, Patricia May, her daughter, Cherie May, her son, Devin May, 24 years old, who leaves behind a 1-year-old daughter, and siblings Quentin and Shania Thompson, ages 21 and 25. 2 other family members survived this attack, the shooting taking place at 3 locations. The Samuel Gompers complex, where a bouquet of flowers now sits at the front door, a home at 39th and Summit and Jones Park. The teenage suspects were captured following a police chase at a nearby park. While preparing to say 5 final goodbyes, heartbroken family members hope the focus remains on the lives they touched, not the tragedy.
They know that he was a great father, a great person, a great man. My granny's someone so loved. She's so loved, and it just hurts to see that she was gone like this.
I am shocked and bemused.
I am flabbergasted.
A little chill too. You
no,
what
seriously,
did you have to do to a 15-year-old that she wanted to kill everybody in separate locations and make sure they was dead at 15 years old?
And her 16-year-old boyfriend, y'all went on 3 different locations to kill your family, your grandma, nigga.
What happened? What happened? I need to know. This is one of them situations where I need to know what happened. Who did something to her that was irreprehensible that she decided that she was going to kill her whole family? Wow. That's nuts.
And that's real. Like that
That's
happened.
nuts. That's not a movie. That's nuts. Wow. Holy cannolis.
Wow.
We're going to take another quick commercial break and reset the room because what the hell?
What the hell?
What the hell?
What the hell?
Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
Looking for bold flavor and good vibes? Come to Finn's Fusion, right at 1191 Blue Hill Avenue. We're bringing you the best of Caribbean cuisine with a touch of African flavors. From savory breakfast sandwiches to mouth-watering small bites, the famous steak and cheese on cocoa bread, and daily $6 lunch specials. Stop by, grab a plate, and taste the fusion everyone's talking about. That's Finn's Fusion, 1191 Blue Hill Avenue, where flavor meets culture.
Often I hear people talking about how high their electricity bills are. Massachusetts has programs that everyday homeowners pay for, but never look into. Have you ever considered why some homes have panels and others don't? If you have Eversource, National Grid, or Unitil for electricity, you are paying for your neighbors to get panels at no cost. The charges are on the bill. Why not get someone to pay for yours? This program also helps with re-roofing, tree cutting, and electrical upgrades. If you're tired of short-term solutions for a long-term problem, connect with Bakari to find out if your home meets the requirements to upgrade at no cost out of pocket. Save the planet, future-proof your family for power outages, and save tens of thousands of dollars on an otherwise lifelong bill. Mention Spark when you call or text SPARK to 617-833-8940 to get 2 months off your power bill covered if your home gets selected.
New England's spring and summer celebrations are amongst us. From proms, graduations, weddings, birthdays, cookouts, festivals, baby showers, and more. But let's be honest, nothing ruins an event faster than a bad DJ or a boring atmosphere. That's where Spark FM DJs and MCs come to save the day. Our professionally skilled, versatile team of entertainers specialize in curating unique, unforgettable experiences for all occasions. Private parties, corporate events, school celebrations, kid-friendly events, community festivals, and multi-genre music experiences for every crowd. Whether you need hosting, crowd engagement, or the perfect soundtrack, our DJs will keep you entertained start to finish. Book your Spark DJ today. Visit sparkfmonline.com. Submit an event inquiry form, and our team will contact you to customize the perfect package for your event. Spark FM Online. Sparking the soundtrack to your celebration.
Boston. Wake your waistline up to your favorite Saturday morning radio show. It's the Vibes Up 360 morning show with specialist and DJ Junior. Every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Hashtag Vibes Up 360.
Vibe 360 Radio Morning Show.
All hits, all day, and it's all yours.
You're listening to Spark FM online.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Did you know that you can now get a standard Massachusetts driver's license regardless of your immigration status? To get help with your application, a list of all required documents, and nearby appointment scheduling, visit mass.gov/WFMA. Your license is your way forward, so why not get started today? Register now at mass.gov/WFMA or call 857-368-WFMA.
Call Spark FM at 617-272-3387. The all-new Spark FM.
You're the baddest one.
Spark FM. You are now listening to Spark FM. Spark FM. Spark FM.
Yes, you kindly. Miss Jolie, know your mango sweet, so Jolie, know your
New England's #1 urban Caribbean music. Radio. Spark FM.
All right, we are back. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. And it's Super Tuesdays. This is when we bring in some of your politicians or your civic leaders, your politicians, your city and state people to come talk to you guys about what they have going on. One of our favorites is Nick Collins, who always makes sure that he touch base with Spark FM so that you guys know what is going on with him. Hi, welcome back, Mr. Collins. Thank you for being here, and thank you for always, having the energy to come and hang out with us. We do appreciate.
We do.
So we just wanted to touch base with you, see how you're doing. We are full-fledged into campaign season, and you are running again for your seat. But before we get into that, tell us who you are, and we always start again with what is a state senator?
Sure. Well, my name is Nick Collins. I'm the state senator for the 1st Suffolk District, which includes Dorchester, a little bit of Mattapan, Little Roxbury, South Boston, the South End, Chinatown, and the Harbor Islands.
Wow. And the islands.
It's quite a district.
Yeah.
So it's one of the most diverse in the Commonwealth. We're in the second year of our legislative session. There's 2 chambers in our legislature here in Massachusetts. Some states have just an assembly, which is one big one. We have the House and the Senate, which is very similar. Our government in Massachusetts is very similar to Washington, D.C.
I was just about to say, it seems like we're we're designed exactly like how the country is designed.
Very similar, exactly. And so we have 200 members of the legislature, 160 House members in the Massachusetts House of Representatives, which I served from 2011 to the middle of 2018. And we have the Massachusetts Senate, which has 40 members, which I've served from the middle of 2018 till today. And so we do 2-year cycles.
What?
And
can't we change that? I feel like 2 years is so little for a cycle. Like you can't even.
It is, but I think like the U.S. Congress. So Massachusetts elections have the U.S. Congress, the Massachusetts Senate, and the U.S. House on the same every 2 years, so the people can keep a short leash on us.
Okay.
In the United States, senators have 6-year terms, and so they're sort of a little bit more insulated. But I think it's a balance of making sure that people have a direct access, and if that isn't what people want, they can make a change, while having some sort of long-term longevity from the U.S. Senate, given the things that they have to deal with the international stuff and sort of the big issues domestically. But the governor has 4 years. And my philosophy is, if you're doing the job and you're staying in touch, then you never have to get back in touch.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It seems though, like with the term only being 2 years, like as soon as you're done campaigning and start serving, it's time to campaign again, which seems like a quick turnaround.
Some people say, "Oh, we don't see you as much as you do in election season." Well, because the first year of the term, you're starting a legislative agenda. I chair the committee, or co-chair the committee on state administration and regulatory oversight. And we had hundreds of bills that we heard. We had tons of hearings and other committees that we sit on. And you need to attend those. That's a requirement.
You need to be there.
You got to be there. So then we get sort of the agenda to a certain point. Either bills get out of their first committee of jurisdiction and continue on to be part of the debate for the second year to become law potentially, or they get sent to study, sort of the graveyard, and they have to get readdressed. We have thousands of bills, so all these committees that are in place that hear different areas of policy that come from the community. For the most part, people can file legislation through their legislators or by petition, and so we have a combination of legislation that comes that affects our district, stuff that's statewide, and also bills that come from the constitutional officers to make changes that they're looking for. So it's a lot, but it's a balance, and so you need to have sort of an inside game and an outside game.
How involved is like state senators involved with like individual cities' business, like Boston?
Yes.
Like you guys do a more umbrella, like whatever. But like when it comes to like budgeting, when it comes to transportation and everything else, how involved is the Senate from the city?
Great question. So we're what's called a home rule state. In the 1800s, we even though laws are all governed by the state legislature, there are ordinances at a city level that can be dealt with, just city to city. And if it requires, sometimes there are efforts that require sign off from the state legislature, like on taxes or on law changes. And so whether it's a home rule petition or what we call statewide local options, where we can pass a law that gives municipalities the ability to do things if they get approval of their local legislators, like the council. So, we have approached that in different ways. But when it comes to transportation, we just recently sent state tax dollars to the tune of $20 million to the city of Boston and other cities and towns that had a benefit as well. Statewide tax revenue, statewide tax dollars to help improve the sidewalks, the streets, all the things that get beat up over the wintertime. So when it comes to resources, we provide that for the cities and towns. But when it comes to like the MBTA, that's a state quasi-public agency.
Okay,
So even though it operates within the confines of Boston, it's a state agency. So we have jurisdiction there with respect to the highway as well. So technically Route 203 right here on Morton Street is a state road.
State police govern that.
Some jurisdiction with the city as well. But back in the day, before President Eisenhower decided to build a highway system, that was part of the highway system, along with Morrissey Boulevard, Galvin Boulevard, Columbia Road. Yeah.
I don't know if this is a question for you, but I'm just fair. We have this big debate right now with the highway that is Blue Hill Avenue, and it seems like city community versus city officials about what should happen on said highway. I don't know, in your off the record opinion for this, like, how do you feel about? I might be putting you on the spot.
Nothing's off the record on Spark FM, but I've never heard of that issue. I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
Because I often feel like, who can we tell the state?
Well, yeah. So because it's a state, so there's actually three levels involved.
Yeah.
The city's involved to a certain degree, significant degree, and they're sort of because they're the home of it.
Yes.
Are involved in the planning, and though they don't, I think because the street is a city street, they have jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Because it's the MBTA, the state has the jurisdiction.
Right.
And because of federal funding, the Congress and the feds have jurisdiction too, because it's a federally subsidized project.
Yeah.
So this came about in 2009, by the way.
It's been a long
And
time.
under Governor Patrick.
Yeah.
And I think people were concerned about a bunch of different things similar to today. And I do think that the proposal from Councilor Worrell and Councilor Culpepper, I think, is a very interesting one. So
I like that you use the term interesting.
Yes.
Well, because I think what we hear from people is like, geez, so we were here before when President Obama put funding on the table with Governor Patrick, and because there was pushback that was fair and legitimate, that they moved on because they needed shovel-ready projects, so they moved to other things because there was a window for the federal funding. And then the state and the city transportation folks kind of didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And so that was 2009.
Yeah.
What was that, 27
That was
years
20
ago?
Yeah, that could have been a long time ago.
I was a young man.
I was young and
No,
able.
17 years ago. Anyways.
I know what you meant.
Short story longer.
Yeah.
What happened, I think people are like, geez, what happened in between? So the proposal that Councilor Worrell and Councilor Culpepper have, which is in the vein of when, in the 70s and 80s, when the federal government and the state folks said, we're going to put a highway through Roxbury.
Yeah.
People like, tap the brakes.
No.
They put the train, they put the Southwest Corridor Park, changed the game. And that took time, planning. And this is my sort of advice to people who want to get into public service. Anyone who says it's a moment, there are moments, and we have to act in moments. It's a marathon.
Yeah.
And we should be looking at that. So don't walk away from the table.
Yeah.
And I think when obviously people change roles and stuff, but I think there's some pushback to the Councilor Worrell and Councilor Culpepper proposal, which is a head scratcher. It's like, So we shouldn't be looking long term at
Yeah.
what's a transit desert underneath here.
Yeah,
'Cause
we're
if
like,
you look at the map, it's clear there's a section of the city that does not have
transit,
underground electric transit.
Yes.
Right. In the form of the orange line or the red line
Yeah.
or the green line, whatever it is, and that's a combination of better for the air quality and environment, and it keeps the community's historic nature intact. And so I think there's also a debate about, okay, what do you do in the meantime? I do believe in, short, midterm, long term.
Absolutely.
So I think while the debate about how the resources should be spent, what should the plan be between Mattapan, first of all, if it's not, this is the misnomer for some people who get into a public office, that even if you have the votes, and even if you have the power, if you don't have the people's consent, like,
it doesn't. It's not a perfect storm.
Good luck.
Absolutely.
Because with resistance, that's legitimate and not just fringe NIMBY. This is the people's tax dollars. The people's homes and businesses.
Absolutely.
And they're going to be on board. And whether it's finding a middle ground and a compromise, sometimes it's not always possible to get everyone, but you got to get the majority. And so I think that's an approach that has to be taken. I think that's the approach that Councilor Rowan Cup would take. Is like, we want to have equity. We want it now. Should have had it yesterday. But at least we deserve it long term. So if we're going to have a discussion about putting all these resources in, they want to study on an expansion of Orange Line down underneath Blue Hill Ave. Like, oh, it's too big. It's too expensive.
It's just a study.
What was the big dig?
Yes, exactly.
What
It
was
was
the
big.
Fairmount
It
line?
was expensive.
What was everything else that is worthwhile
eventually,
long term for everybody, for the broad benefit of people, and in a way that will not impact the environment, as it relates to the electric rail. So I do think it's a worthwhile debate. Anytime you get a bunch of resources put on the table, you don't want to just dismiss it, but there's got to be a way to come to an agreement. We're having the same debate on Morrissey Boulevard. People saying, let's shrink the road, and we need to dedicate one to a bike lane
There's
next
a
to
debate about Morrissey Boulevard.
What the area over there by UMass?
So when when it rains, it's like a pool.
Yes.
So they need to redo it. We're looking at a major investment there too. It's was the highway before, and so on the proposal that some had put forward, they want to shrink the lanes and give one on each side to the bikes, which we have a coastal situation where we have so much space.
Talking about bikes,
and you could create bike lanes, safe bike lanes, off the road, that aren't headbutting the streets, and it's the safety is the number one, and you can have both given that area is so big, and we're planning and all this money's gonna be spent. Myself and some of the legislators we don't necessarily need to shrink this, especially if the goal for these vehicles is to be electric long term, and the environmental impact of that, then we don't need to, because we're not gonna
dismiss cars.
And because at a certain point, people get off the highway and they hop on Morrissey. So unless we're cutting off that access, then we have to be sensible about what we're going to be dealing with. And congestion is only going to hurt the residential community. Because the people who live in the South Shore or somewhere else that are coming into Boston pass through. They're not bearing that burden.
They sure are.
For 5 minutes as they're passing by. But so we're saying, okay, bike lanes are important, but my philosophy is it's not that they shouldn't be anywhere, but they can't be everywhere.
I agree.
And we need to have them in a safe place so people can be mobile without fear, and also limit risk. And so that's how we're approaching that. We're pushing to approach that on Morrissey Boulevard.
I think it should be, what should the plan be, and is there a plan B?
Yeah, and I think there just needs to be more conversation around it before they make a plan that's going to get butt down. But speaking on that same level, many families in Dorchester, South Boston, Mattapan are still, are still stressed out about being priced out, affordable housing. The other day I was driving by, and I was just like, they are creating all of these housings, but nobody's moving into them, and then people are still complaining about needing more housing. What is the prioritization in Boston when it comes to affordable housing?
Yeah, that's a great point. So what we've done at the state level is to put resources forward to do a combination of things. Low interest loans for the construction of it through Mass Housing, along with, upfront help to be a homeowner, whether it's a down payment, insurance, or, low interest mortgage. And that's on the consumer side and on the construction side. But we did just see news that home prices have stabilized in Boston.
Okay.
That came out a couple of days ago. And there's availability. So for both rentals and for largely rentals and for purchase. So that sort of, those economics of supply and demand. I mean, of course, Boston being a densely populated city, everyone's obviously the World Cup, everyone likes to be here. What we need to be doing is something that the Attorney General has been pushing, and we passed as law, is to push the MBTA Communities Act, which has particularly the communities in the perimeter of Boston, building more affordable housing, building family residential.
So would that be outside of?
Yeah, we're talking Milton.
Okay.
Well, Milton doesn't want it. Milton didn't want it, right?
Hyde Park.
But, Hyde Park's taking Boston. But Hyde Park has a good example. Hyde Park, they decided to build right next to the transit at Reedville.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
This is what we should be doing. On all the commuter rail stops outside of Boston, the T owns the land. They all have parking lots. Build multifamily residential, 40 units on each lot next to the train.
Yeah.
You can't complain about that. And you also don't need, it's exempt from local zoning. So if someone's going to get in there and try to block you, you can go around that and say, look, this is state property, it's exempt, it's on T assets, train right here, you get the amenities as
Is
needed.
that a viable
It is.
idea
It takes
that's
political
happening?
will.
Okay.
We pushed it. There is an effort by the executive branch to push the utilization of state property, because that drives down the cost.
Yeah.
Because if you have zero on the cost of land, because it's three things: cost of land, cost of construction, cost of financing.
Okay.
So if you drop the cost of land, that's 1/3 of the problem as it relates to the high cost of housing.
Yeah.
And because asking, the people building it to take less of their wages to build something, it's like saying, hey, the milkman, you should take less to deliver the milk, or the newspapers, or people who work in the supermarket, like, you should make less to make the goods less that we're buying from you. Like, that's really not where you go. But on the big ticket items, like, okay, can we drive down the cost of capital? And on public property, we're saying you could possibly use the bonding tools that the MBTA has, or a finance partner like Mass Housing to drive down the cost of financing. But that big chunk on the cost of land acquisition will be critical. And so that's what we're pushing the state to do, because, when people think about Boston, other than the people who live here, because we know if you're from Boston, you're from Boston.
You're from Boston,
But people look at, when they're looking at the city, like, oh, geez, looks like a good place to move, could have some opportunity. Greater Boston is how they view it. So whether you're living in Brookline or Cambridge or, Milton, so and you have an accessibility from the T, that would help us, because we have a high density per square foot here, per square mile in Boston. We're one of the most
people.
densely populated in the country.
It feels like we're little sardines all the time.
Yeah, and that you feel that, but I think the burden in Greater Boston being shared would help greatly. But part of that on the housing costs is the taxes.
Yeah. Yes.
So when we had this tax debate a couple months ago and the year before,
you were big
the city,
on that.
the city dusted off a proposal from the late Mayor Menino 21 years ago that he did for a year, and it failed. So when everyone who knew Mayor Menino knew, like, if he thought something was working, he'd stick to his guns.
Yeah.
So we have a situation where we have a proposal that was put forward, tested, failed dramatically because it did three things.
Yeah.
One, didn't capture the value they had hoped on empty commercial buildings.
Yeah.
And they croaked small businesses. Croaked small businesses who are commercial in nature. And we're getting absolutely hammered. And put more burden on the residential property owners. So what did he do? He pursued new growth, pursued support in different ways from the state. And that's what we came forward with as a proposal that passed 31-7 in the Senate that sits before the House.
Yeah.
Was actually, you brought up earlier about the difference between, how the state's involved in localities. We pursued a statewide local option that municipalities can participate in. And these policies were already adopted by the city. Councilor Brian Worrell had filed this as a piece of legislation, an increase to the senior property tax exemption.
Yeah.
Which increased the eligibility, increased the benefit, as well as the personal property tax exemption for small businesses, like all the equipment that you own has had a cap of $10,000 to be exempt.
Where is it?
And then it would be $30,000. It would be $30,000. Sits before the House, and we've been encouraging the mayor to support it publicly to get it passed in the House. Has not happened yet, even though it already supported at the city level. And the third is rebate authorization. Many of you remember in 2022 when the state brought in more revenue than it needed, that under the law we had to issue rebates to the taxpayers. And that's what we're saying here. For those who had a residential exemption, we uncovered over the last couple of months that the city didn't have a $550 million surplus, it had a $1.7 billion surplus. So providing that relief to an unnecessary tax increase would ease that burden that the city put on people.
What in terms of small businesses, because you brought that up, small businesses, what are some plans that Massachusetts is doing to help entrepreneurs, especially Black and minority-owned businesses, gain access to capital? As you know, this conversation is so real and personal right now because we're trying to purchase this building that we're under. Someone just made an offer on it, so we are responding with some pretty aggressive terms. It seems like there's no real resources out there to either help small businesses not be displaced and or priced out of buildings and places that they have built from the ground up. And there's, I personally believe commercial real estate is a scam. But, it's more scammy to the smaller businesses that are there because landlords are passing those tax increases to the small businesses that are killing us.
So that's why we have to be careful of doing that. Because, everyone is, oh, geez, it's going to be stuck on the big bad guy. Well, no, everything gets passed on to the consumer or the end user.
Absolutely.
And so you have to keep that in mind. A number of things that we're doing that we have done in other places, particularly with new construction. Now, we talk about affordable housing because we know there's a roadmap for that, right?
But we
need affordable commercial.
Yes,
so
we do.
We started with a plan over at the Edison plant in South Boston on the new construction. Say, okay, we want an affordable, this is happening under Mayor Walsh, we want affordable commercial plan here, which gave a discount to local women-owned, minority-owned, and disadvantaged businesses and local businesses as a priority. That gave a discount for the rent, along with some support up front on the the outfitting. And so I think that we have to adopt, like we have standardized affordable housing in terms of funding. There's all sorts of grants for affordable housing.
Yeah, there is. There's everything out there.
And something that we're going to pursue in this economic development bill coming in a few weeks is a pathway for affordable commeral.
Okay.
So there's resources. There's there's some private entities that help here, but
we'll talk.
We have we have a group that we had funded in the past that we're looking to get some capital funds towards, again, called Get Connected, the GK fund.
Yes.
And they've been helping to help entrepreneurs. So sometimes it's getting a government entity to do it. Sometimes it's faster to get a private party the resources to help. And that's what we've done in the past. We've helped the GK fund support small local entrepreneurs and particularly minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, disadvantaged businesses. And that's
Colette, right?
Yeah, Colette Phillips. And that program has worked very well. But they need to be, more resources available to that. So we're making the case. We're pushing the envelope on that because I think that's been a gap that they've stepped into.
I've been pushing it for quite a while. Even with I know that Brian Worrell had some initiative around small businesses and getting restructured or whatever. So just kind of following along that as I go through my own process. But with you, what are some of the things that you have been able to pass? And some of the things that you are still fighting for that you want, that you feel are necessary, that we haven't been able to get through.
Sure. No, it's a good point. Well, we did pass something. I was the author of this last week, and it's happened, for a number of years now, and I think it's a great benefit to the consumers. People should know about August 8th and 9th. We have the sales tax-free weekend.
Yeah. I didn't know that this was something that needed to be passed and gone through the House and Senate and stuff. I thought it was just something that was cool to do. I didn't know that
just happened automatically on this weekend every year.
No,
that's so funny.
Because every year we do our budget year to year.
Yeah,
projections come in, and we did focus on building up our surplus. We have about $8 billion in the rainy day fund, highest bond rating we've had since we started.
When is it rain?
Oh, I'll say this: the storm comes in different forms.
Yeah, okay.
It could be a political storm like we're in now. It could be a natural disaster, and so I view that as something that we should leverage. It shouldn't be a sacred cow.
Yeah.
Here's how we used it last year. So we created a fund that was supposed to be for federal matching, that was off of the interest of this surplus fund.
Oh, okay.
And when the SNAP benefits had ceased because of the federal government closed for however many months, we stepped in to supplement that and basically, keep that program going. So there are ways that we can use that and leverage the surplus fund to step in when there's a storm. But this has to be authorized every year just because it's a commitment that also comes at the expense of tax revenue, but it's a boost to retail.
Yeah.
And as I was just with a senior group earlier, like sometimes people are waiting to, buy something that they need in the home.
Yeah.
And when things are tight, as you bring up, like that matters. When you're getting a 6.5% break that you'd otherwise not feel because of the tax, sales tax, that's why people flee to New Hampshire.
And it's not crazy things. It's everything under $2,500. Yeah. So it's not like you go like you're saying, go buy a car tax free today.
Yeah. Right.
It's more so like appliances, tools, equipment,
furniture. Things that you need in the household.
Yeah.
Things that you may need for the upcoming year, for the school year, for families. Yeah. Could be a fridge, could be, something that you've been waiting to purchase or you need to purchase. And, everybody could use a break these days.
And this is August 8th and 9th. And that is tax-free weekend. So that's about in a month from now. So these are some great measures that you are putting forward. You have a contester this year.
We have a couple. Yeah, we have three.
Couple.
We have three.
I only knew of one.
We have a couple. Someone was run before. Someone was new. Actually, two are new. One was run before. Green Party, Democrats, all this stuff. I think a lot's going on in the world.
What do you say about people who think you're not progressive enough?
Or they should do the homework.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that question is real because I feel like you've been pretty progressive.
Who said that?
Hey, I mean, if progressive means making progress, then they get the wrong idea. But we're at this 7 days a week. It's not a title. Mm-hmm. It's a cause. And you have to be out and about across the whole district. We have great support across the district. I've been endorsed by every legislator in my district, including former legislators like former Senator Linda Docina Ford, who had my seat, and former Representative Marie St. Fleur.
Oh, Linda had your seat.
Yep.
Okay.
And my colleagues like Council Worrell, Representative Worrell, Rep. Fluker Oakley. Rep. Fluker Reed, who I'm actually in league with coming up this year. I was announced to be the Grand Marshal of the Caribbean Festival.
Yes, we heard that.
Very excited about that, and she's the Grand Matron, so we'll be out in full force for the Caribbean Carnival Festival. And I think people who know the work know that it's a coalition effort, it's a collaborative effort. We feel great. We're out there every day, and we have a great response. But it's a free country; anyone can
vote
jump
for
in
whatever
and have a debate, and you can.
But you feel like you've been doing a great job so far, and that this should be,
Yeah, I think the people have responded that way. I mean, look, I'm in a debate with the mayor. She doesn't like it. I debated Mayor Wu. I debated Mayor Walsh. I debate. We're not. You don't get sent there by the people to be a yes person.
Yeah. Hello.
Like, I don't work for her. I work for the people.
Say it.
And if we have disagreements, you can have disagreements. It doesn't, not personal to me. We're gonna dust it off and keep going. There's a zillion issues. But I'm not. I grew up in the city.
Yeah.
So if if there's an issue that I think is going to have an impact in the long term, then when people are saying, we're worried about this, we're concerned about this, our job is to get under the hood and to look at the facts. So when we ask for data, we ask for backup, and nobody wants to do that, then we ask, okay, what's going on here? So
I mean, I feel like we're in a political climate right now in Boston that is very uncomfortable for a lot of people. And I think that I've heard an influx of complaining about many different things. But down to the last couple of questions, especially here in Roxbury, Mattapan, Dorchester, often still feel like we are overlooked, underserved, and for the most part, what are some things that Capitol Hill are doing to kind of Beacon Hill are doing to kind of help, not only the residents, but businesses here in the inner city that are still feeling a little bit left out?
Right. Yeah. Well, we're trying to keep their taxes low, first and foremost. So one thing is on the small businesses as well as residential. We filed legislation because we uncovered that the city of Boston was increasing home value assessments disproportionately in Dorchester, Roxbury, Mattapan, and in other parts of middle class Boston, Rosendale, Hyde Park, parts of South Boston, parts of the South End. Meanwhile, giving a tax break to Back Bay and Beacon Hill, like blatant. So homes that are valued at $20 million being assessed at $5 and $12 in Back Bay, Beacon Hill. Meanwhile, homes in the middle class Boston at the max market value or more, which is never the case. Yeah. This is the last 4 years. You can look at it. It's like skyrocket, on the graph. One of the worst examples was in Rosendale. A home was sold last year for $435,000 and then was assessed months later by the city at $485,000.
Oh, wow.
So you may have seen this, but there was a lawsuit by commercial property owners for the same thing, where the city was, doing that. In the late 70s, they had a class action lawsuit like they have now, and they lost badly. And the city had to float bonds to pay everybody back. So what we're seeing at the commercial level is also happening at the residential level, where the city is increasing assessed values to bring in more taxes. Because everyone pays the same rate, but what's different and what makes up your tax bill is the assessed value that the city unilaterally determines. So in the legislation we filed and passed, we give more time for people to file abatements because right now it's 30 days, and people, if they're not, have a lawyer or an accountant or they're not really sure, they kind of miss that window after getting the bomb dropped on them January 1st. And then also to reform the assessment process, because the assessor just resigned in disgrace because of this. Because of this class action lawsuit that the judge just decided to move forward.
Wow. Which
is not good for the city. Yeah. They're either looking at a tough settlement, or if they go all the way to the end zone, it's going to be a pricey one for Boston.
Wow.
And now he just resigned because he's been broiled in all this.
Yeah, that's too much.
And gotta go. And now, he agreed. So the residents are facing the same thing, and particularly middle-class Boston, on disproportionality. Yeah. Which, if your neighborhood is being disproportionately assessed more than other, then you have standing to not just file an abatement, but also to challenge that in court.
Yeah.
And so there's a brewing group of residents that have seen this, and now are saying, okay, after the dust has settled, looking at what the city's done since 2022 and jacking up everyone's assessed values to gain more tax revenue.
Ridiculous.
And you can do that without a vote. That's a bureaucrat making the call from their computer, not going out and seeing someone's home, saying, geez, this thing's kind of hasn't been repaired in a while. Yeah. They're just living here. There's no reason
Did
here.
they think that was a good thing to value people's houses more? Maybe they can sell it less more because
what they were thinking is hard to say, other than they wanted more tax revenue.
Yeah.
Without having to get approval.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that seems.
That's why we're trying to reform the system, because if right now people are at a disadvantage to be able to challenge that, the city now has this in such an imbalance where if they pursued, increasing dramatically those homes in Back Bay and Beacon Hill, they probably have a case on their hands too. So we need to sort of limit the liability for the city to do that, so they can hit reset. I mean, the Globe did a report saying $150 million shifted to the middle class based off of that inequity. It's called vertical inequity. And so that's what we're trying to address. I know there's a hearing coming up that Councilor Culpepper, Councilor Morrell had filed a hearing order to look at this.
Yeah.
It was supposed to happen a couple weeks ago, and the city postponed it.
That's been happening a lot with things.
It's been happening.
And I think that's going to come up in the next couple weeks and months. Going to be very edifying because the math don't lie.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. And so everyone can see this, for those who own homes on Boston Property Lookup, what has happened over the last number of years, and particularly in the neighborhoods and in the individual homes. So we did the analysis. We said, that's why we asked for the data. Okay, you want to do this on the tax change, but what are you doing on assessments to people's homes? Because that's really how they feel it.
Yeah.
And so you know what that's all about. So we're on it, but as it relates to what at the community level, we get the FY27 budget just passed.
Yeah.
We're very proud of the resources we're bringing to the community-based programs, nonprofits that support the community big time.
Yeah.
We have a great budget this year for youth jobs.
Oh, good.
That's
while
amazing.
the city cut back, we stepped up and to support the youth jobs efforts, which are critical.
When we're talking about safety and public safety,
at a basic level,
Yeah.
I mean, you remember when as a kid, you get a lifeguard, you're doing the red shirts, whatever it is.
There was always something.
When you're working, you're cleaning up the street.
Yep.
The sun's beating down on you.
Yeah.
You're not going home thinking you're going to go take on the world that night. You're going to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you're limiting the window of trouble. And people got money in their pocket. They're helping the city, and there's all sorts of things going on. And what kids are challenged with today is much different, which is why we put forth what we think is a modest proposal on social media mitigation, along with in the classroom, banning the use of cell phones, so kids aren't distracted and all cooked up by these.
Yes, Jesus.
Cooked up is perfect.
Cooked because they're all cooked.
Yeah.
These, no matter where it is. I remember we had two different groups at the State House this last couple of years. One was a hockey team at Boston Latin. The other team was the boys, and there was a girls basketball team at Cathedral. Great student athletes. And beforehand, we took them across the street and talked about, what was going on. And, they were all kind of into their phones. And I asked them at the time, because it was like this discussion in federal government about banning TikTok.
Yeah.
I said, what do you all think? Now, these are like top student athletes in the state, and at least in the city, but, they had won the state championship. So, the state said, should we ban TikTok? No. It was immediately same answer, different day, different people. I was like, oh my God. So we know that we have to reform that, and that's something we did this last week.
And we know that they're not going to like it, but I think that it's for the better cause, for the greater good of the youth, because they are.
And that's our job too, to try to make sure they're on the right path and have the tools and the protections.
Yeah.
But I think the budget reflects the priorities of the community, the priorities of the district, to help move the needle for different communities. And we're proud of that. And I think that's also something that has been resonating with the community and the people that we represent.
I wanted to speak for the Stone. I'm the local stoner.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
So we've had cannabis legal for quite some time. I wanted to know, do you think that we've done what we're supposed to do for the owners, for the cannabis owners, for the dispensary owners?
Something that I pushed and passed for the Social Equity Fund didn't come fast enough. That's the regret that we had, that the bureaucracy of the commission, and obviously we're reforming it now. I think that first mover in any new industry is critical, and I think we didn't do enough to allow the first movers, particularly in the community, to be able to take that on. I think the saturation of it has created problems, and just the sort of the amount of hurdles at the city level and the state level, because time is money, and I think that, like the tales all the time, the folks who get the resources up front can move first, have the ability to sort of set themselves up in the marketplace, where we're also at a disadvantage. So I think there was a failure there. I know there's a ballot initiative to repeal that. I don't think it's going to pass.
I hope so. I hope it doesn't.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to pass. I think we're on the right track, but I think the supports that the business owners need, are still lacking. And I think part of that is, the philosophy on business sometimes has to be to get out of the way with respect to the government, And while we need protections in place, regulations in place, when it came to this, I think that there was a little bit too much overreach. And then when it was set off, sort of these, some of the bureaucrats at the commission, the inspectors, who have all sorts of power. And, it's like Boris the quartermaster from the USSR Army, who, if you get him on the right mood after his smoke break, might help you.
Might help, but if not,
otherwise,
you're screwed.
That's just not what should be.
There's a fire inspector lady that's like that too.
Well, it's just that's a lot of consolidated power, and anytime you have that, it's not always working out.
Thing.
Yeah, and so I think that was. A lot of lessons learned there. But what entrepreneurs who put the risk out there, should gain is at least, some solvency too. They shouldn't be, hey, we're going to go out there, start this engine now, lose your shirt. So
yeah, that conversation I feel like should be more time for that. Why I say that is because I feel like a lot of the residents don't know too much that's even on a ballot, that's a ballot question. We're doing a really piss poor job with marketing and stuff. But let's set up
There's
some
other
time.
ones too that we should talk about.
Yeah, and
some got bounced off and some are still there.
Get those in a list so that we can deep dive for them. But for our last couple of minutes, we'll just take it to 11:30. We like to do rapid fire these days, just kind of get you out of politics and into Nick. South Boston or Dorchester?
Well, no, it's both because Dorchester Heights is in South Boston.
Okay, so a little bit of
what was once Dorchester is now South Boston, and it's kind of interchangeable.
It's the same thing, so I'll stick with both. Dunkin's order, what do you get from Dunkin's?
It depends on the time of year. Even sometimes in warm weather, I'll get just a small regular, just no.
Really, black coffee kind of guy.
No, small regular with a little cream, no sugar.
Oh, no sugar.
But sometimes iced coffee, sometimes hot coffee.
Okay.
Depending on the time of year.
Red Sox or Celtics?
Celtics. Here's why. Because
they just traded Jalen.
Oh man, what a loss. We had him up the State House on January 1st, 2020. It was before everything went wild.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great experience. He had all these youth basketball programs up. He's a wonderful guy. And really miss him and his leadership, not just on the court but outside.
Absolutely.
But I say the Celtics because, like the Bruins, it's 2 and change, and you're back to your life.
Yeah.
The Celtics, you could be there for hours and hours and hours and I'm sorry, the Red Sox.
Yeah.
The Celtics and the Bruins are great.
Inning. Yeah.
2 hours in and out, or on if you watch it on TV. It's always good action. People on. I mean, baseball had to put a shot clock in deck. That tells you something, right?
Favorite local restaurant?
In Dorchester, Caesarea.
Yes, good one. What's one hidden gem everyone should visit in your district?
Castle Island.
That's not hidden.
Well, it's on the peninsula.
Yeah, okay. Morning person or
Fun
night
fact,
owl?
by the way, fact. Prince Hall sworn in as the first black Freemason at Castle Island. 1775.
1775. Let me stop. Morning person or night owl?
Both.
And what's always playing on your playlist?
Bob Marley.
Is it?
Yep.
That's good. Did you happen to go to the show of Stephen Marley and Buju Banton the other day? You should have came.
No, I don't get. Again, if it's more than 2 hours, I'm not probably at it.
I was like, I can't do. Actually, that's where I'm at these days too. If it's more than 2 hours, then I'm probably not gonna go either. But thank you, Nick, so much for sitting and talking with us. We'll put you on the books for another time very, very soon. Election day is September
1st, but there's early
1st.
voting. We just people should have gotten a ballot from Secretary Galvin, and you can put in an application to the City of Boston. Also want to leave a copy of the Massachusetts Constitution here.
Thank you very much.
So people know their rights.
Good. I would like to know my rights. Thank you very much. And we're going to read a little page of this every day. I don't think we're going to do
Civic
that,
Bible.
Still, we're going to read it. Thank you, Nick, for so much. You guys can go follow Nick at Nick Collins MA on Instagram, or his website is
nickcollins.us.
nickcollins.us. Go talk to him. He's always around. Remember, politicians and civic leaders work for the community. So if you guys see him around, say, hey, I saw you on Spark FM, heard what you said, ask him questions. Again, Nick is one of those people who is always out there for the people, and we appreciate that from you.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
With that said, we're gonna leave here, and we're gonna take some pictures, and we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, Wednesday, here on Spark FM, Saucy and Friends in the Morning. Have a good one.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the Morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Trip.
Log on to SparkFMOnline.com. The all-new Spark FM.